Hello my dear friendsitos, how's your life? So I just woke up and I remembered that I promised to you to do a tutorial on body separation part 2. So yesterday I showed you how to do this type of body separation. Today I'm gonna show you how to do this type of body separation, which is a bit of different technique. And again, I'm not going to show the full artwork, I will show only the body separation technique. But if this video gets 40 likes within the first 2 days, then I will do the full artwork, because that will mean that you actually want me to do the tutorial and I will not waste my time. With that said, let's get into my dear friendsitas. So first I'm going to import this image, and it's actually a very beautiful image. So it's an image by Elia Pellegrini. Okay, you can find it on Unsplash. I will put the link to the image as well, of course. Let me just delete the background. So before we continue, I want to make the image a little bit brighter, just to make it comfortable for us to work with it. So I'm just gonna go to image adjustments and brightness, and I'm just gonna increase the brightness a little bit and decrease the contrast, increase the brightness, decrease the contrast. Good. So now at least we can see her face, you know. Let's click OK. The first thing that we need to do here is actually we need to fill this background, because if you look at this artwork, you will see that she has to go up, but here in this image we don't have the place to go to make her go up, you know. The image ends here. That's why we actually need to fill this place with additional sky. For that, let me select this image, let me go to layer, smart object, and convert to smart object. The reason I do that is because now the brightness contrast effect is inside this smart object, so now it's together and not a separate effect. So now in order to fill this place, I will actually create a duplicate of this image. So again, to image, layer, duplicate layer, and yeah, of course I know that I can use different hotkeys to do all this stuff, but the reason I don't use hotkeys is to make sure that beginners can also follow this tutorial. Okay, so now I want to rasterize this layer, and so now in Photoshop, if you go to image and to edit, and there is a tool called content aware fill. It helps us to automatically fill empty areas, but the thing is that it works only on rasterized images. So right now if I look, I see this icon on this image. That means that this is a smart object. I need to make it a stupid object. So basically I need to rasterize it. For that I can go to layer, and I can go to rasterize and smart object. Boom. So now as you can see, it's not a smart object anymore. Now it's a stupid object because we don't have this icon here. If you want to know the difference between smart object and normal object, just search YouTube. You will find so many videos on that. I'm not going to go into that into this tutorial. So now first I need to select a place that I want to fill. So for that I'm gonna use this tool here, rectangle marquee tool, and I'm just gonna select this. Voila. And now when I have this image selected, I will go to edit, I will go to content aware fill. This is relatively new tool in Photoshop, so yeah, if you don't have it, that means your Photoshop is too old and you need to update it, okay, otherwise it will die soon. So, and as you can see, boom, I have it here. So, and this is how it's going to look. Photoshop automatically took these skies from the background and filled it with the skies, basically this place. And now I can just click OK, and voila, how beautiful. Let's go to select and deselect. I know, magic, right? Hello, who is that?
The Lord of Photoshop.
What do you want?
Are you already registered at learnfromfred.com, where you can master Photoshop and learn how to create stunning artworks and animations?
No.
If you don't, then I will download your image and give you 10 eyes.
No, please don't do that. I will do anything.
Also, I'm not real. This is just a show.
What? So now what I want to do is I want to separate the girl. So I want to select her, and let me turn off this image because I don't want to use it. This was just to create like this filled area. I want to use the smart object, okay? I don't want to play with the stupid object. So now let's select the smart object, and now I will go here, click right button and choose object selection tool. This tool helps us to automatically select objects. I'm so good at explaining stuff. So now if I select it, I can just go here and try to select her. Voila, this should be fine. and Photoshop should be able to select her now. Good. So now of course this selection is not perfect, you know, because I'm just showing this to you as a tutorial, and that's why I don't really care if it's perfect. I mean, it works. Of course we have here some hair missing and blah blah blah, but it's fine. So let's select this. Now we need to create a duplicate of this image. Let's go to layer and let's go to the duplicate layer. Let's click OK. And now when we have this layer here, I'm just gonna click create mask. Boom. So now as you can see, we have a mask here of this girl. Let me turn off this image below, and now we see only the doll. Wow. So now when we have it, I'm gonna select move tool and I will just bring the girl higher. She's flying. Wow. But let's put it up so we can see her. Boom. Now let's turn on this image as well. So now what we need to do is we need to create an empty place between this girl and this girl. And the way we're going to do, first of all, I'm going to go to this mask, and I want to put this layer into a group. For that I'm going to select it, I'm going to click group, and now I will actually take this layer and put it inside the group. Voila! Now if I close and open this group, she's inside. So now when we have this group, I'm just going to go here and click create mask. Boom. And the reason I did that is now I will be able to hide part of her body without affecting this layer. I will actually do it on this mask. So now let's go to brush tool. Okay, I will choose black color, and so as you can see right now I also have here this weird brush. It's not circle one. In order to take it, you can go to window and brush settings, and here, boom. So this is going to open and you can find it here. Voila. So now make sure you own the mask with black color, and now if I just start drawing here, as you can see I'm deleting the girl. And yeah, if you don't understand what is happening, that means that you don't really know how to use masks, and you should go and learn that. Okay, my dear friends, let me get closer. Let me continue removing her. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, this looks fine. So now when we have it, let's just leave it like this for now. Now let's go to this girl here. Now we need to basically delete like upper part of her body. Let's go to this image. Where is this girl? Let's create a new empty layer. So the image is above, the layer is above the image. And let's go here, click right button and spot healing brush tool. Select this. So now when we have this selected, make sure all of the settings are exactly like mine. Content aware, sample layers checked, normal, boom. And I'm just gonna make my brush bigger, hardness 0, even bigger. Okay, that looks good. So now I'm just gonna go and try to delete this girl from here. Sorry girl, I know this sounds horrible, but that's it. We don't need you anymore. Okay, looks like I forgot to delete something. So let me actually close this group. Let me actually turn this off for now, and I'm just gonna delete this from here. Boom, 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 boom. So now when we have done it, as you can see, we have here some weird shape of skies. So I will try to get rid of it, you know, just to replace it with something more natural. And yeah, I think it's much better now. Good. So now let's continue here. Okay. So now if I turn this on, let's actually go to this mask. Let's select brush tool and let's delete this. We don't need it. So now the thing is that we need to create here this type of shapes, basically, so that it looks like she's really broken into two parts. The way we are going to do that is very simply, my dear friends. Let's go first to this girl. This is the easier part, okay, because this is going to be more difficult. So let's go first to the easier one, so it's easy for you. What I want to do is I want to create a copy of this girl. So basically, again, select the layer, go to layer and duplicate layer. Let's click that with OK button. Now when I did it, I want to go to the one which is below. I want to go to image, adjustments, brightness, and I want to make it darker. And right now we don't see anything because this image is located behind this one, so that's why we don't see any changes. But for example, if I turn off this image, as you can see, the one below is really dark. That's good. Now let's go to this one. What I need to do here is actually I need to select this mask, just click on it, let's go to brush tool. And now, for example, if I start deleting this, let's say I'm going to delete it like that. As you can see, when I do this, I'm starting getting this basically darker parts. That's the image behind. So I start seeing the behind image. Good. The reason I did that is now, for example, it looks like this is the front part of her, this is the inside part. So basically now it's more three-dimensional. But now we still need to finish it, okay? And let's go here, let's create a new mask. Now the problem is that we clearly see that this is the continuation. So basically this dark part is the continuation of this brighter part, because we see here this thing just flowing around. Let's turn off this image. What I want to do, I want to take healing brush tool and I want to get rid of this thing here. Just draw over it to make it have different shapes so it doesn't look like they are the same. Good, now as you can see it's different. So now in order to finish this part, what I want to do is actually very interessante. I'm just gonna create a new empty layer. I'm going to take my brush tool, okay? Again, make sure you have this type of brush here. I'm going to make this small. And what I will do is I will go here. It's a little, what color did I have there? Even darker. I will go here. I will select like dark brown color. So yeah, something like that should be fine. Even darker. And now, for example, if I start just drawing over these places, let me make this smaller. As you can see, even smaller. As you can see, when I draw, I'm kind of going to create a cutout effect. And but before we finish that, let me see if this actually works, because I want to blend this. So let's go here and try to blend this to see if we get something nice. Yeah, soft light should be fine. So let's click OK and let's just continue. Okay, but I don't like this color, so I'm just gonna take a razor tool. I'm gonna delete it. Let's go to brush. Let's see a different color. Let's actually, yes, okay. So the one which is not too red. Good, let's click OK. Let's try with this one. Yeah, much better. So now I'm just gonna go and draw here like that. Good. So now the one thing I need to do is I actually want to go to this image, double click on brightness contrast. I want to make it a little bit brighter because I think it's too dark, and maybe increase contrast. Yeah, contrast is fine. Let's click OK. So now we get here this type of separation and it looks pretty nice. Of course, if you don't like it, then you can redo it with different shapes and so on. Here, for example, as you can see, I did it like that and it looks nice, and voila. So now let's go to this part please, and of course you have to put something. You don't have to, but it's good if you put something there. Otherwise, at least add some shadow inside here, okay, so that it looks more realistic. Good. Now let's go here and we need to do the same thing here, but here it's going to be a little bit more tricky. Let's see how long is this tutorial. Wow, quite long, huh? So let me think. So let's close this group. This is what we're going to do here. It's a little bit tricky. First, let's actually select this, okay, and this image, and let's convert them into a smart object together. So let's go to layer, smart object, convert to smart object. Boom. So now when we have it, I actually want to select only the skirt. I think it's called skirt, right? So let's go to object selection and let's try to select it. Let's see if Photoshop does a good job here. Boom, it does. Let's now go to layer, duplicate this layer so that we have a copy of it. Boom. And let's now create a mask. So now if I turn this off, as you can see, I have here only the skirt, and that's exactly what we want. Now what I want to do is I want to take this skirt and I want to go to image, adjustments, brightness, and I want to make it darker a bit. And let's now try to move it up. Yeah, this should be fine. Something like that. Let's turn this off and on. Maybe it's even too good. So now I want to see what is behind it. So I'm gonna go to opacity. I'm gonna make it a little bit less so I can actually see. So this is the original skirt and this is the one that we have overlaid. So if I turn this off and on, we see it. So the reason why I did it is I need to create a background. So basically I need to create a background for the skirt as well, so that it's going to be darker and in other ways so that it looks more realistic. And I'm just gonna go to this skirt, going to this mask. We'll take brush tool, make my brush bigger. I'm going to take black color, and I will start deleting this skirt from everywhere else because I want it to be only here. So let me just do like that, and let's make it smaller. And now we need to build with more precise. So basically we need to draw it so that it looks like it was cut out like this. Should be good here, and of course we need to delete it from this part. So now let's make this 100%. Okay, and as you can see, it looks actually pretty nice. Now I would say it looks pretty realistic. Let's go to create just a new layer. Let's take brush tool, and let's again just make my brush smaller and try to go over these places to trying to create this type of. Let's change the brush direction. So now if you want, let me go to brightness. We can also make it a little bit darker, just a bit, and I think it looks nice. That's it basically. We're done with this cutout technique, and this is actually most part of the artwork. So if you want me to see like finish the whole artwork and everything else, the colors, the angel hello, this cloud here and blah blah blah, if this video gets 40 likes in the first 2 days, then I will definitely do it because I will know that you wanted. That's it guys, basically for this video. Make sure to check out my premium Photoshop classes. Love you. Bye bye.